Lots of stories to help us understand. Yesterday we heard about the head of the cook who was in the cooking pot. The influence of ghosts. And what did we hear this morning? Oh, this morning we heard about the mother frog and child frog. And the child frog had seen an elephant. He'd been somewhere, but the mother didn't see the elephant. She was somewhere, so the child frog came home and was explaining to the elephant how big was the mother frog.
No. Explain to the mother frog how big the elephant was.
How big the mother frog, how big the elephant was.
It was like this big.
Okay. Hope the camera's working on this side. The child frog came to the mother frog trying to explain the size of the elephant. Anyhow, then the mother frog gets bigger and bigger, like this, and then exploded. It was Srila Guru Maharaj trying to give us an example of how essentially our brains explode when we try to understand the greatness of the Lord in His different aspects.
Oh, yeah. Extraordinary.
All right. So, dear devotees, I understand we've been joined at home. We've been singing and chanting all morning. Where have you been? You were with us earlier. And now? Any question from anybody? Can anyone make a question behind the screen? Yes? No, Saraswati, I'm asking. Can they make questions?
Maybe on Instagram. Yeah.
On Instagram, okay. If anybody has a question, you can ask. No, it's okay. Yeah. And everywhere, the main thing is association, hearing from the right source. And we are telling everybody, every time, please hear from the right source. From Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Sri Rama, Srila Prabhupada. They are bringing us Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He's bringing us Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's living connection and living teaching in this world today, practical for us, according to the present expectations of society. Now aeroplanes, trains, internet, all these things there, people consider absolutely like necessities of life, normal, but everything can be used for Krishna. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave that service is the very necessity, to see everything, how it can be used in the Lord's service. So we have all the modern technology, or whatever modern technology easily comes our way, and using that. And now, if you don't have a car, people think, oh, and especially some countries, you can't hardly do any service, even collect vegetables. Before you collect vegetables in the garden, many people need a car so they can collect vegetables for Mahaprabhu from like 10 kilometers away from the supermarket.
There is a question about Sadhu Sangha.
Sadhu Sangha.
Yes, I have.
Yes, and the question is?
It's about what is the proper way to receive Sadhu Sangha, for our own benefits.
Yes, through submission, honest inquiry, and seva. We need to come and we need to try to see, when we come with the devotees, what message is there for me? What have I got to learn from them? They are devotees, they are practicing. And we want to try to associate with those who can give us Krishna consciousness. And a sadhu, a proper sadhu, is that. And we are servitors of those who can give Krishna consciousness. The world knows Gurudev, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada can give Krishna consciousness from the upper world. We need to serve them, and we need to serve them in das anudas, whatever capacity we can do. So, Sadhu Sangha means we're coming humbly, that I don't know anything, I want to know. Please, can you help me understand something? Honest inquiry. And then seva. As Guru Maharaj is saying, not just to take something, pocket it and go away and use it to show how clever you are or for any other purpose, but it is only for service. So we can share the inspiration of seva. So Sadhu Sangha, the joy of being with the devotees. Look at the family that Gurudev had with him in his presence and has with him in his presence. If we can be with those who are aspiring for a higher goal of life, then it is very good association. If we're with those who are aspiring for more business, more name and fame, more the material association, then that will take us away from Krishna consciousness. So that's why we are not to associate with the materialist, but we are to associate with the sadhu. And sadhu means who is sincerely trying to aim to go to the upper world. And gradation of sadhu is always there. As Guru Maharaj says, there's gradation in the material world, there's gradation everywhere. But with humility, with honest inquiry, and with service. And then what is service? Service isn't just sitting beside Gurudev or sitting beside Guru Maharaj. It is mosquito in Navadip, many mosquitoes. They are very close to Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. But that's not Sadhu Sangha. Govinda, Govinda. And we should try to get to know the sadhus as much as possible. And how to know somebody? As Guru Maharaj says, first you see the form, you see the clothing, you see the figure, and then you come to know about their nature, their likes and dislikes. Then you can come to know about their ideals. And then deeper and deeper we will come to see what is within the sadhu, as it were.
Yeah. We're very, very fortunate to have an association of
Yes.
devotees and of course
And for those who can't hear, I'll just explain that Anjali is deaf and sometimes she speaks very quietly, thinking that we have super hearing.
it was just an undercurrent. It was nothing.
Saying that we're very
So
fortunate
grateful,
to
so
have.
we are so fortunate, unbelievable. And I think you realise that more and more and more, Sometimes you really thought, this is very nice, Then more and more the depths of that association with the Vaishnava becomes imperative and essential to continue, like otherwise you crumble out there.
That's why we need sadhana. And this morning, I don't know if devotees listen to things which are posted, but yesterday was Jajaba Maharaj's appearance day, and it's a beautiful talk by Gurudev. And in there, he's saying, about sadhana, about how we must do sadhana bhakti. If we don't take nourishment, we won't be healthy. And we've been given the nourishment. So we should try...
He's asking what is sadhana.
Sadhana means steady devotional practices, and which essentially means to chant Hare Krishna. When initiated, we're chanting on beads, but everybody can chant Hare Krishna for half an hour, 45 minutes every morning anyway. And to daily, not regularly like once a month or once a week, but every morning, to read from the scripture in an organized way, from Srila Sri Rama, Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, essentially. and to offer our food to the Lord and do some worship. Here is a big temple, so we have a big deity, but everybody can worship the Lord at home. So, to do the practices and not just know that we should do them. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam. Ah, very good. Perfect. If we don't have breakfast, we don't have lunch, we don't have dinner, our material body very soon is weak and useless. If we eat the wrong things, if we eat junk food, we're always in difficulty. So also, not so, some similarity. Spiritual life, we need our nourishment every day, and if we don't, all sorts of things happen. And generally, we can say when we see so many difficulties coming with devotees, they're not doing sadhana, they're not maintaining. So we must try to maintain some good nourishment. So begin with that, and that includes, we should follow what Gurudev tells. Every lecture almost, or average at least once a lecture, we can be so bold to say that. Chinadapi sunichina taroreva sehishana. How will we behave, how to chant, to be humble, to be tolerant, to give honor to others, and not want honor for oneself. All of these things. This is all part of our practicing life. Govinda, Govinda, and this is stressed for us everywhere. But Gurudev very beautifully saying, and I did actually have some bookmarks, but we don't have time right now, some bookmarks for Gurudev. And one of them was a verse which all of the devotees here know, but I haven't kind of been repeating it recently or read about it recently, but today Gurudev very beautifully explaining Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrijya Vidherapi Kainkaryam Krishna Padaika Ashrayatvam Sharanagatihi. This verse composed by Guru Maharaj in Prapana Jivanamritam, and that verse Gurudev said it many times. It's not just he said it one time and explained. And this morning, he was describing this verse. And I did bookmark that. I thought, oh yes, this will hear when we come in the gathering today. But we'll hear it another day. I have it bookmarked, don't worry. And I had another bookmark. And this moment, I can't just remember what it was, but also something. I have another bookmark, but I don't just remember what it was, but with something else to look forward to, Srila Gurudev. Like when we hear things and we feel some like special little boost, like that we're saying healthy diet. So when we've taken something very healthy in the morning, which has given us a boost, we also think we want to share that with others. So, but it is a sharing with others. That please to revisit that verse, Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam, for those who have it. And do you have some of our books now? Do you have Revealed Truth?
I do.
You do? Ah, beautiful. There must be one somewhere nearby, I think. Because
Both a digital copy and hard copy.
Oh, digital and hard copy. Okay, beautiful. Because in here, this verse we are talking about, it is in this book, and I'm not quite sure where. There's a picture of Guru Maharaj seeing the Prapana Jivanamritam, receiving the Prapana Jivanamritam. Here. So in your book, you can find 227. This page 227, At home, when you go home,
Yeah.
you can read this. In fact, you can read it also here. But this is at one of the times Gurudev is explaining the verse, not the time I heard this morning. And stressing the importance of Sharanagati and that everything will be accomplished by Sharanagati. And on the lines of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, loosening the rigidity of the sticking to the formalities of the rules and regulations, this Bhagavad Bhakti Saram covering in that theme also. But now I have to go because I have duty, and I told from 11:30 to 12 I am here. So now I'm not here because I have some duty to go elsewhere, going on Zoom. So do your best, and if you wish, read from here, and we are expecting Devashish Prabhu and others to be here. And chant Hare Krishna and be happy.
Srila Madhusudan Maharaj.
Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. And maybe you want to sing, and I don't know when Devashish Prabhu is coming, but if you want to sing and read this part, perfect.
Okay.
Or as you wish, or any other questions come, you can ask. Abhinava Sundar Prabhu and Kali Kadamba and Pandita, they will all ask. Everybody can answer some questions.
We can't hear Instagram, Maharaj. So
What?
we can't hear the Instagram, so they'll be neglected. Oh.
No, but somebody can read the question. The tablet? Oh, it's hiding. And that other book is under the table.
Okay.
Govinda, Govinda.
It's on.
Natri.
Then, should we sing something?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Maybe Natri on mine.
Are you going to sing it?
You want to sing something?
Yeah, I should. Pandita, do you want to pick something first? Okay. What?
You can ask Pandita to sing it. She chooses it.
How does it begin? Hold on a sec.
127.
127.
Where is everybody? There's so many people already coming.
We're all here, Anjali.
Where is everybody boarding? What page?
127. Dayal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Natri Amana. 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 Natri Amana. Natri Amana. Natri Amana. Natri Amana. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Oh my mind, just dance. Oh my mind, just dance. Oh my mind, please dance. Chanting Dayal Nitai Chaitanya.
Such a merciful personality as Nityananda Prabhu is not to be found anywhere. He suffers a beating from Jagai and Madai and still gives them love of God. When you become offenceless, you will obtain love of God. But in these names of Chaitanya and Nitai, there is no consideration of offences. Once you have a taste for the holy name of Krishna, bondage to this world will come to an end.
When there is attachment to the holy name of Krishna, then very easily the life of the living being becomes successful. Without attachment to Krishna, life is simply false. If the mercy of Lord Gaura is there, then at the end of life he will obtain the beautiful vision of Radha and Shyam in Vrindavan. Wow, what about that? Gosh.
Yeah. No, come on.
Is that the next page?
Yeah.
Gaurangera duti pada jadana shubhada. Gaurangera duti pada jadana shubhada. Gaurangera duti pada jadana shubhada. Gaurangera duti
Anyone who has accepted the two lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya can understand the true essence of devotional service. Whoever hears the sweet pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, their heart will become pure.
If one who takes the holy name of Gauranga, in one who takes the holy name of Gauranga, there is an awakening of love of Godhead. To such a person they say, bravo, excellent. If one appreciates the transcendental qualities of Lord Gauranga, the eternal pastimes manifest in their heart. Such a person has real devotional qualifications.
Number 3.
By considering the associates of Lord Gauranga to be eternally perfect, one can attain the association of Sri Krishna in Vrajadam. Whoever considers the land of Lord Gauranga, Sri Navadvip Dham, to be the land of transcendental touchstone, that person takes residence in Vrajadam, Sri Vrindavan.
We have one here. Whoever dives into the waves of the nectarian ocean of love, Lord Gauranga becomes an intimate associate of Shri Radha Madhava. Whether one lives in a house or in the forest, if they chant, whether one lives in the house or in the forest, if they chant, O Lord Gauranga Narottam Das begs to attain their association. Jai Gurudev.
Right.
Is Devashish coming?
Maybe Enakshi, did he do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to come.
Okay. Page 133.
What is the page?
133.
Kave Gauravane Suradhunitate
Kave Gauravane Suradhunitate
Kave Gauravane Suradhunitate
Kave Gauravane Suradhunitate
Aradheha Krishna Bole
Aradheha Krishna Bole
Kandiya Vedavo Deo Sukhachari
Kandiya Vedavo Deo Sukhachari
Nanalatta Taru Bole
Nanalatta Taru Bole
song. Can you get that?
$129. Gorapa.
What page?
129.
129.
Gorapahu Navajia Mainu.
Gorapahu Navajia
Yes?
Yeah, be good to be.
O Lord Gora, I have not worshipped you and have been robbed of the jewel of divine love by my own negligence. Although I am in need of your wealth, I have endeavoured to reject your riches and instead have dived into sinful material activities.
Avoiding the association of saintly persons, I have enjoyed sporting with materialistic people. For that reason I have become bound in the noose of fruitive activity and its reactions.
I have perpetually drunk the horrible poison of material sense gratification and have never become absorbed in the sweet nectar of the chanting of Lord Gora's names.
Why has my heart not experienced any satisfaction, and why has Narottam Das not safely perished?
Would you like to sing?
Well, I can do the next page, which happens to be Avatar Swarma. It's the next page. So I can. Yes, we do. Avatar Sara, Gaura Avatara.
Avatara Sara, Gaura Avatara.
Eno Navadiri Tare.
Eno Navadiri Tare.
Kori Nirabasa, Gelo na Piasa.
Kori Nirabasa, Gelo na Piasa.
Apana Karama Pere. Santa Kera Taru Sadai Sabiliman.
Santa Kera Taru Sadai Sabiliman.
Amrita Babarashe.
Amrita Babarashe.
Prema Kalpataru Shri Gauranga Amara.
Prema Kalpataru Shri Gauranga Amara.
Dahare Babiri Bishe. Pala Satu Kilimana. Nasate Pasilo Kita. Iksudanda Bhavi Kanta Kusilimana. Kemone Pai Bimita. Haria Bolia, Golaya Pariliman. Ramana Kinkora Sapa. Zikala Bolia, Aguna Pohaliman. Kaili Parjada Tapa. Sarabadili Shri Gauranga Bhulili. Nasuneri Sadhu Rakhata. Iha Parakala Dukhara Koyalaman. Kaliya Panamyata. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Chaitanya.
So Maharaj was suggesting reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, shall we read?
Yeah.
Would you like to read? What time are we going till?
One.
Okay. Okay. So then, Madhusudan Maharaj left us with a passage in the Revealed Truth to read. So we're going to follow his advice, and all will be revealed in the Revealed Truth. Ha ha ha. Hey, that works.
You start this.
So this little subheading is called Pure Sharanagati. The qualities of Sharanagati have been identified in the scriptures. Srila Guru Maharaj composed his Prapannajivanamritam according to these procedures for surrender that are given in the scriptures. I've read so many things about these qualities of Sharanagati from so many places, but what Srila Guru Maharaj has given is supreme. In a verse from his Prapannajivanamritam, he has given us a very nice, clear explanation of Sharanagati that is a perfect jewel you cannot find anywhere else. It is the most essential prescription given anywhere for everyone to enter the transcendental service world. Okay, it is the most essential prescription given anywhere for everyone to enter the transcendental service world. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? If you can memorize just this one verse and put it in your heart, then you will receive everything ever given in any scripture. And there it is. Gurudev with Guru Maharaj. And the verse is Bhagavad Bhakti Taha Sarvang Ityutridya Vidherapi Kankaryam Krishna Paraka Shrayatvam Sharanagati. Here Srila Guru Maharaj expresses that Sharanagati means faith that Bhagavad Bhakti Taha Sarvang, that through devotion to Bhagavan you will get everything. Bhagavan means the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the Akhila Rasamrita Murti, the emporium of all rasa, who possesses all worshipable qualities. Everything you want and need, rasa, ecstasy, joy, nourishment, and so on, will automatically come to you through his service. Your life will be glorious, successful, and perfect through devotion to Lord Krishna. Not only will you receive everything you need internally, but full facility to serve Krishna will also come to you. And there's a quote from Srimad Bhagavatam here. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yogaha Prayojitaha Chanyatyasyu Vairagyam Gyanam Cha Yad Ahaitukam. Ahaitukam. Automatically, renunciation from this material world will come to you and spiritual knowledge will be revealed in your heart. And then there's another quote from Sri Krishna Karnamrita. Bhaktistayi stiratara bhagavan yadisyad daivena naha palati divya kishora muti muti swayang mukulitanjali sevatasman Dharmata kama gataya samaya pratiksha. Moksha, liberation, will come to you with folded palms and ask, what service shall I do for you? Dharma, artha and kama, piety, wealth and enjoyment, will wait by her side to assist you in your service to the Lord. Through a mood of submissive surrender and devotion to Krishna, everything will come to you. The Lord's divine form and the Prapanna Jivan Amritam, the nectar of a life of surrendered service, will appear in your heart. We must understand that devotion to Krishna is all in all. Then Srila Guru Maharaj said, Ityutridya vidher api kankarya. Even if we cannot follow so many rules and regulations written in the scriptures for the guidance of conditioned souls, even if we cannot follow the standards of Vidhi Marg, but we are surrendered to the Lord, then our devotional mood will purchase the Lord and we will get a good result. This is one way of explaining Srila Guru Maharaj's expression, and it gives us much hope. But ityutrija vidherapi kankaryam also means that we must leave everything for Krishna. We must leave all of our mundane activity, no doubt, but to exclusively worship Lord Krishna wholeheartedly, we will also have to ignore the general rules and regulations given in the Vedas. We must fully surrender to Krishna. I will utilize my full energy for your service. We must leave the service of all gods, demigoddesses, and so on. Our service target must be Krishna. When we can finally go beyond all types of formal religion and fully offer ourselves to Krishna, then He will give us entrance into exclusive devotional life by giving us inspiration in our hearts. There's a quote from the Bhagavatam here. Yadya yasyanuragnati bhagavan atma bhavita sajati matim loke berecha parinishtitam. When the Lord affectionately bestows His causeless mercy upon His surrendered devotees, they naturally give up all mundane activity and ignore Vedic religious practices to engage in His service. So then Gurudev is also now repeating Guru Maharaj's verse, Bhagavad Bhakti Taha Sarvang Ityutrija Vidherapi Kankaryam Krishna Padaikashraya Bang Sharanagati. When a jiva soul comes to the strong position of taking exclusive, unconditional shelter at the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna's lotus feet, with full chastity and sincerity, then he becomes a pure Sharanagata. This is Srila Guru Maharaj's explanation. Krishna Parakashavyaptam. When a jiva soul accepts Krishna's lotus feet as his one and only shelter, having faith that everything will be successful and fulfilled by His grace, and abandons the shelter of Vedic religion, demigods, selfish activity, and so on, then he becomes firmly, purely surrendered. We must fully surrender to Lord Krishna and believe it, with an exclamation mark. With that, we will get super benefit in our lives. Okay, then there's more. Shall I keep reading? Do you have any questions, comments? Kelly Kadamla's always wanted to comment. I can feel it.
No,
Okay.
I was actually just wondering if you could just even...
I have nothing to say.
Okay.
Gurudev is saying it all. I'm trying to be a good mouth. So, next subheading, I am yours. We can understand the seriousness of a genuine surrendered soul's mood through the story of Vibhishan in the Ramayana. During the battle between Lord Ramachandra and Ravana, Vibhishan, the brother of Ravana, came to take shelter at Lord Ramachandra's lotus feet. He prayed to Ramachandra, I am here to take shelter at your lotus feet. Please accept me as your own. I am yours. Hanuman and other associates of Ramachandra were very angry when they heard this and heavily chastised Vibhishan. They thought that Vibhishan was a spy coming to harm Lord Ramachandra. And they told Ramachandra, "Don't give him shelter at your lotus feet. He cannot be trusted." And then Ramachandra took a vow in front of everyone. You will find his vow expressed in this verse from Prapannajivanamritam. Shrikar eva prapanno yastasvat tavasmiti chayachate abhayang sarvada tasmai dadam yetad bratang mama. If anyone comes to me and once says, "My dear Lord, I am yours. I am taking shelter at your lotus feet," I promise for all time to come that I will never leave him. Here Lord Ramachandra removes all possible fear from the hearts of the surrendered souls. He gives them 100% assurance that he will accept them as his own and never abandon them. He gives them the faith that he will forever take their charge. So we can have full faith that if anyone will sincerely take shelter of the Lord will never abandon them. Any and all circumstances may come to them, but if they once sincerely surrendered to the Lord, then they are permanently under the Lord's charge. This is a very heavy thing. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has very cleverly explained the faithful confidence of a surrendered soul in one of his songs. Okay, it's the song Atma Samarpane Gela Abhiman. This is the mood of Atma Samarpan, fully surrendering oneself to the Lord. This song is found in Sharanagati. You must have read it. When I joined the mission of Srila Guru Maharaj, he gave me a copy of Sharanagati and tick-marked 32 songs inside. He said, "You must memorize these songs within 7 days." I had some capacity as a kirtan singer, and Srila Guru Maharaj wanted to begin training me according to my qualifications. Somehow I memorized those songs on Srila Guru Maharaj's order. I still have the book Srila Guru Maharaj gave me in my room. It is also my request to the devotees that they try to memorize the songs of Sharanagati if it is possible for them. There are so many very sweet, sweet songs inside Sharanagati, which are very nice to chant daily. Sharanagati is a small book, but all wealth is present within it in a glorious way. Through the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we get the gist of all the scriptures. If all the scriptures disappeared from this mundane world, but Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs remained, we would still have everything. We can get everything through his songs. This song, Atma Samarpane Gela Abhiman, is not in pure Bengali. It has some Brajabuli in it to convey the mood of Krishna's surrendered devotees in Vrindavan Dham. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur expresses that if we are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, then we have nothing to fear from anywhere. And he said even more than this. Krishna, I will even fearlessly drink the poisonous water of the Jamuna because I'm sure that you will save my life. It is Krishna himself who gives and takes our life. No one else can do so. We do not need to be so fearful of our environment and association. How much can we actually protect ourselves? We have seen that Indira Gandhi was shot by her own bodyguard. Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated, although he was a very pious man and dear to nearly everyone. The only saviour of anyone's life is Krishna. If Krishna wants us to be saved, we will be saved. And if Krishna wants us to die, then we will die. There is a saying in Bengali, Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke, Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke. When Krishna protects you, no one can kill you. But when Krishna wants to kill you, no one can protect you. The mood of the surrendered soul is, Marabi Rakabi Yoicha Tohar Nityadasa Pratitui Adhikar. Krishna, you may kill me or protect me as you wish. You are my master. This kind of submission and dedication is very valuable. Our real safety is found only in surrender and devotion. What Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained is very serious. It is not easy to quickly catch this conception of full dedication to the Lord and full dependence upon His mercy. So we consider some percentage in our devotion. Someone may be 10% devoted, 20% devoted, 50% devoted, or 100% devoted. The only obstacle to surrender and dedication is ego. If someone has no mundane ego, they can easily connect with the transcendental plane and leave behind their mundane attachments. Everything mundane, our body, our possessions, and so on, is part of Maya's illusory environment. It is temporary and does not belong to us. When our ego is bewildered by the illusory environment, then our proper knowledge and consciousness of Krishna's eternal service is covered by mundane attachment. And that egoistic attachment creates a great obstruction between us and the Lord. The scriptures explain that mundane ego is like a great mountain that blocks our contact with Krishna and His transcendental abode. But when our ego is disengaged from the mundane, then it is very easy for us to contact the transcendental abode and feel the Lord's guardianship. The Lord is very far from us if we are not surrendered and dedicated. But the Lord is very near to us if we are surrendered and dedicated. Krishna is always with us. He lives in our hearts in the form of Paramatma. From within our heart, He observes everything we do and all the reactions we create for ourselves. Whenever we consciously surrender to Him and act according to our nature as His eternal servants, He removes all of our karmic reactions, fills our hearts with happiness, joy and beauty, and gives us entrance into the ecstatic world of Goloka, Vrindavan Dham. Jai. Surrender. The only way. There's no other way. There's no other way.
And you know, it's amazing because Gurudev, he gives that quote at the beginning and saying, well, Guru Maharaj said, if we, with full faith in the Lord, if we surrender unto Him, then everything will be given from His side. But then Gurudev, he goes on to say, because you know, start to think, well, like if we just need to surrender, how? Like if it's so, and then like Ramachandra is saying, whoever once sincerely declares, I'm yours, like He will for all time to come take their charge. And you think, okay, well, so how do you surrender? Like how do you do that? And how do we actually, like if He's saying, just one time if someone sincerely surrenders unto me, I will take them forever. Then it's like, well, how can we do that? How can I do that right now? How can I? And then Gurudev goes on to explain like the process, like and the process of Sharanagati. You know, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur's all his prayers. Like he actually outlines the steps. Like it's actually something that has been laid out for us, like how we can...
The pathway.
It's
like a transcendental pathway. And the signposts, we have some signposts. And it's so magical, once you get on it, you must walk to the end. By grace, isn't it? You must be guided to the end. If there is an end, because it's eternal, there's no end, there's no beginning, so walk it, and you'll see what it goes. or how it goes. But it's something like that, isn't it? I think.
Gurudev also says, like, towards the end, he says, like, the only obstacle that we have on this path is the ego.
Yes.
And then it makes you think, like, so, like, how to do away with the ego.
Right.
Yeah.
So simple but so powerful.
How to fight humility, tolerance, and to give honor to others. Constant reminder of how.
Just a little squeak. That's all. It's not. I have nothing. You carry on. You wonderful. Go. No, that was my feeling. I've forgotten now. This is what happens to me.
Well, you were saying that on the path there's some signposts along the way that we have to keep.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are some signposts which must be in our memory that's been given to by our Gurudev, because it has to have come from the pure source. So it's been given and granted. But then there's a journey also with that, and it's a process of elimination of all the mundane aspects, which are so uninteresting, boring, and useless, which we realize that, So slowly, actually they leave us because they can't attract us, so they can't, all right, I'm going, So you get assistance from both sides by the grace of the Lord. Gurudev, coming from Krishna, so we get so much assistance, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger, It grows, it doesn't peter out, it grows. The strength of that pull, that's something like that. I feel.
And Didi, how do we do away with the ego?
Pardon?
How do we do
away
with
the ego? Well, I mean, that's something that must dissolve. It's a mundane thing. So if you're always sort of constantly sort of thinking, and by the grace of Gurudev and by the grace of the great souls who want us to succeed on this devotional path, that it's, there must be some dissolving of these things, it's a magical path, so everything is possible. So, okay, there may be some ego, whatever that exactly is, and what extent that is, but then we get so much assistance. They see you, they want you to succeed on that in the race. Okay, yeah, come. And they must help and remove that, must dissolve, I believe, I feel. Otherwise, how is it going to go? Because there's always something in the mundane sphere where you will react in certain ways. I don't know, what was the question? What was it?
How to do away with the ego.
Well,
Gurudev is saying...
What was Gurudev? Whatever Gurudev said. I mean, obviously I don't. What do I know,
You were saying that the ego is the obstacle to...
Yes, it is an obstacle. It's an obstacle. Of course it's an obstacle. But when after a certain... we get so much help with that removing of obstacles. Otherwise, how are we going to do it ourselves, So we must get some help from the divine quarter. It's just we must do. Otherwise, how can we do? How are we here? How are we feeling anything at all of the transcendental situation that we feel, and the Supreme Personality of God at the most attractive, most beautiful personality in every aspect. I mean, we can't possibly imagine to the full extent. Something, little glimmerings we must have. And of course, it's such a pull to the heart. It's part of the workings of the body, workings of the mind. We're not actually necessarily doing it ourselves. It sort of takes over. Do you think?
Yeah, and how do we? Because you're saying that it's that their grace that's actually pulling us. But how do we make it? As Gurudev says, we need to make ourselves a good receiver. How do we
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that?
you're a good receiver.
Like how-
You must be a good receiver because it's a desire, a desperate desire.
Do we have any tools or?
It's a desperate desire. After a life, and how many lives we've had in this mundane, world, however many worlds, in the universe, whatever, and we've been come across by fortune, by this other aspect of beauty, which is transcendental. It is, you get taken by that, isn't it? Excuse me. You do. So that is the pull. It's magnetic pull, that comes from the other world. It's got to, because after a certain point, we can only help ourselves to a degree without the blessing and the guidance of the spirit of Guru and those wonderful teachers and souls that we have come to this plane, and we're attracted by that, by the grace, and I think they help. They dissolve everything, and of course, eventually we leave anyway. Towards the end of life. And I think, all these things do eventually go into the background, and there is a very powerful pull forward,
The holy name? What?
The holy name, of course, the holy name is what a gift we've been given. We've been given everything by Gurudev, all the required ingredients. And of course the holy name of Krishna, we try to chant the holy name of Krishna, but the Lord is merciful. He sees us trying to chant the holy name, and the full extent of that holy name, of course, is part of the pull. If we're trying to express that, to speak the holy name, which is, it's transcendental. So with an ordinary mouth and we try, and by the grace it'll be understood that we have, that the name is transcendental. So on our part we can just try, but the name must be like the Lord, most merciful to us. So we shouldn't worry too much about being perfect with chanting, because we can't. We have to have, the Lord has to assist, and he he must, because he's feel that they want to chant the pure name. So they know that, and of course how we can do that, I don't know. So it must come from him, to assist us with that pull. If he wants to help us, if we have to go and start again, then the Lord will let us, if he thinks that's necessary. Something like that, I think. Gurudev. Okay. Joy.
Perfect time?
Yeah.
1 o'clock? And Joy Guru.
Should we sing Raya? Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking, how about this one? Yeah. You? And I'm going to get
Oh my God.
Oh, Abhimana?
What is it?
It's that song.
The song that,
yeah. So page 180. This is the song that Gurudev was just referring to in the reading.
Well, I'm not particularly familiar with this either. Atma samarpane gela bhima. Atma samarpane gela bhima. Nahi Prabhu nija raksha vidara. Nahi Prabhu nija jana jani tula ko binata. Palya ko jana jani kori suya sata. Charo bimadava jamuna tire. Bangsi raja otoga ko bidire. Bhagavaka marato raksha vidana. Koro pisada tu gokula kala. Raksha koro bitu nischoy jani. Pana koro buhanta munapari. Kaliya doka koro bibanasa. Toto binadi jala bata obidasa. Yato da bandana rako biboy. Gopala Govinda Namasabahoy. Surapati Durmati Nasha Vichari. Rako Vibhashane Girivaradari. Chaturana Kara Bhoja Gochori. Raksha Karo Viveko Kulahari. Vakati Vinoda Tuya Gokula Jana. Rako Vikeshava Karadojatana. Okay, do you want to read it? Yeah, we're waiting. Good diagram there. Surrendering my soul unto you has lifted from me the burden of false pride. No longer will I try to provide for my own safety.
I know that you will give protection to your treasured possession. O Lord, I now understand the mentality of your treasured cows, safely maintained by your side.
When you lead your herds to pasture, O Madhava, on the banks of the Jamuna river, you will call to them by softly playing on your flute.
By slaying great demons such as Aghasura and Bakasura, you will always provide full protection, O Khan of Gokul.
Fearless and confident of your protection, I will drink the waters of the Yamuna.
The Kaliya serpent's venom poisoned the Jamuna's waters, yet the poison will be vanquished. You will purify the Jamuna, and by such heroic deed enhance our faith.
You will surely protect me by swallowing the forest fire. Thus you will call Gopal, protector of the cows, and Govinda, pleaser of the cows.
In order not to curb the malice of Indra, king of the demigods, you will protect me from his torrents of rain, O lifter of the mighty Govardhan hill.
When the four-headed Brahma abducts me along with your cowherd boyfriends and calves, then also you will surely protect me, O Gokul. O Gokul Hari. Last one.
The last Bhakti Vinod is now the property of Gokul, your holy abode. O Keshava, kindly protect him with gentle, loving care.
I love that.
Like the cow. And yesterday evening, he had like a dog, correct? Ananda Sarupini? We chanted this other one.
Dogs and cows.
Hare Krishna, welcome. Welcome. Hare Krishna. So I understand that there's going to be Aarti.
Apparently. Just missing one pujari.
Any short question from anybody? We are here, repeat ourselves. Here's Vijay Krishna, our host from yesterday evening. Jai. And he'd come with his wife and daughter and not his dog. Pongor. Dog called Pongor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And last night on the way back we saw different lifestyles of London. The midnight lifestyle with the really foolish drunk people. Grown-ups drunk. Looks very stupid. But they're very happy. They think they're very happy. They're partying in London. But we know it is a shallow form of happiness.
They never really look really happy, do they?
But it's the search for happiness, which is universal. So in one way or another, and we thank our lucky stars, as we say, that we've come to a proper conception of happiness, instead of just relief through some drinking, through this or that. It is proper conception of nourishing happiness and not reactionary. Everything in the material world has its reaction. And the main reaction for trying to be happy oneself independently is death. Death and birth. We've taken our birth in the place of death and birth, whereas we should be taking our birth in the place of eternal joy and happiness. So we're lucky to come across such direction. And that is what captured me in the beginning, because I used to travel a lot, went to all sorts of places. But finally, where do you travel to? Where do you go to? And when I read, I wasn't even really aware, I was trying to find somewhere, but when you think about it, when you think about it through the eyes of the sadhus, then you realize that actually, yes, we should be going somewhere, not just floating here and there. And that's where Srila Prabhupada made it very clear. There's a purpose to our human life. And that purpose is to come home. Back to Krishna, back to God, back to home. We've heard it before, we read the books, but we need to repeat it so that we can remind ourselves. We are being repeatedly told that this washing powder washes whiter than white, new improved. It's being new improved for the last 50 years. But we're repeatedly told. So we need to be repeatedly told what is always new and new improved, and that is Ananda Vardhan, overflowing, ever fresh happiness in the upper world. So in the beginning of Prapana Jivanamritam, perhaps in the introduction, but where Guru Maharaj is introducing Prapana Jivanamritam, he says, because Sharanagati is the very life of a devotee. That's what it means to be devotee, is Sharanagati. It's the very life of the sincere spiritual searchers. Then it should always be discussed, always be remembered, discussed, cultivated, protected. All of these things. And hence he made that book, Shri Shri Prapanna Jivanamrita.
Prapanna Jivana Amrita, the surrendered soul's Amrita, joy. Hare Krishna.
What was this Prapanna?
Surrendered.
Okay.
Surrendered. And I heard Srila Gurudev this morning talking on the tape. Okay? I didn't actually hear him through the ether, but I heard him talking on the tape this morning, saying about how to read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day. We should read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day. How long will it take us? Why we are not doing? We should do it. Even that we cannot do. And he was talking a little bit about, sadhana. But it is recommended to read one chapter of Gita every day, but we don't do it. But I thought of that because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's secretary did read one chapter of Gita every day. But when Guru Maharaj produced the Prapanna Jivanamritam, then he was so struck by what was in Prapanna Jivanamritam. He then read one chapter of Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam every day. That's somebody who's been reading Gita all their life. Say, oh, here. So Prapanna Jivanamritam. And in that Prapanna Jivanamritam is that shloka that we were saying before I so rudely left you all before. And to go to the Zoom, and that was that verse, Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrija Videhapi Videhapi Kainkaryam Krishna Paraka Shayatvam Sharanagatihi. That everything will be accomplished by surrendering to the Lord. And then this morning Gurudev saying, but it has to be sincere. We have to be not just faking it just so we get out of doing material duties in the world, etc. We need to sincerely come. As much as we are sincere, we are safe, all of these things. But the good news is that everywhere in the books, everywhere in the songbooks also, we see that devotional life is happy life. Yes, come in, you have plenty of place to sit. Please, we are going to impose this fine of $10 per mattress that's not put down. Or make it $100 per mattress. It's nice if so many mattresses. People can welcome to come in.
Sorry, what about if we're not sincere?
Oh dear, if we're not sincere, then today is a good day to start new things. Start to be sincere from today. Good? Why not? Why not? Today is a good day. And we can think about things we can do that we don't do, and we can think about things we should not do that we do. So it's a good day to stop doing things that we shouldn't be doing, and a good day to start doing things that we should be doing. Why not? And Rupa Goswami has given us a list of what we should not do, and a list of what we should do. So we try to do the good things, leave aside the bad things, and try to have association. And association, that's why you're here. It's to come together. Birds of a feather flock together. So we have some feathers. We have the feathers of the family of Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev. And anybody wants to build a chariot for Rath Yatra, today is a good day to start building. They start in Jagannath Puri, they start building the Rath Yatra carts, big carts, today. And also with some celebration. They don't just say, 8 o'clock on the morning on the first day of whatever it is. They start with some celebration. And in India, and the Indians, they know very much that when you begin something, you try to make an auspicious beginning. And then it bodes well for the future. See? So this day, we do not know astrology, astronomy and all those things, but we know those who do. In other words, it's well documented by those who study it that it is real. There is influence of this, that and the other. And today is one of those days in the year which is a very auspicious day for starting things. Hare Krishna. And last night she's dancing and chanting, dancing happily, naturally. And who pointed out recently that in the world that, it was Devashish on the London Zoom maybe 3 weeks ago or something. Devashish pointed out that if you watch the news, watch the television, and on the news today somebody won, the British lottery, whatever it's called, they won $3 million or 3 million pounds, pounds, 3 million pounds. And then they interview the man, or he gets the news and the camera's there. And what's the first natural thing that they do? They're chanting and dancing. I won $1 million. It's a natural expression of joy. It may be short-lived joy that he's won $3 million, but it's a natural expression of joy. And we see in children they're happy. They naturally express it. We grown-ups, we hold our feelings back. No, we have no feeling. But Mahaprabhu and his devotees, they showed their feelings. They could not hold their feelings back. Their joy in Krishna Prema. And this is where our Krishna consciousness is taking us. This is the joyful journey home. Joyful journey to our joyful home. Hare Krishna. Govinda.
We read that last night in the Prema Dharma instruction, talking about verse 66.
66.
The dynamo. The Lord sang like his own.
We sang 41 to 50. Because we didn't sing it the day before, right? Oh no, because we did 31 to 40. We sang 41 to 50. So you did 51 to 60. Okay? So tonight, 61 to 70. Jai Gauranga Sunda ki Jai. And these golden curtains all the way. Anyway, Devashish is on his way. He's stuck in traffic.
We came.
You drove then?
You drove?
No. We came with the metro. But
sometimes it's better.
Today is mad.
The metro is
probably,
metro is always good.
Yeah.
Metro
One way
is
or another,
always
you
good.
get, if you get
For this journey, for some, not every journey, this journey.
it will take probably 2 hours and a half.
Hare Krishna. We've been in all of that. We've seen it. We got out and walked instead. Got out and walked that time? You were in the car? Because we saw the Buddha. Believe it or not, we saw Buddha in London. On the other side of the river, we saw Buddha sitting there. And so we're just in traffic. And maybe it was Saraswati driving. And then myself and not you. And then myself, we got out of the car. Said, well, do you mind? We get out of the car, we'll just take the tube. And then we went over to the Buddha and we walked in the garden, we came back on the tube very easily and happily. Buddha is in London overlooking the old Father Thames in some pagoda thing.
Yes, at Battersea Park. Yeah.
Battersea Park, yes. Yeah. And if we hadn't been in the traffic jam, we would have never got the opportunity to go. But if you do go to see Buddha, it's actually quite a long way to the nearest tube. I thought the tube stations were all over London, but there are some gaps. And then we had quite a long walk to find out. But the walk was interesting. Anyway, mundane. But you can see in London very wealthy persons, and the walk went through like some very wealthy places. You can see, we're not looking through the windows, but you can see, the chandeliers and like all sorts of, wealth. But also you got in London yesterday, we saw sleeping on the street. I was surprised. Homeless, sleeping on the street. I thought London didn't have that anymore. There's poverty and there's great wealth too, both. But you see it's everywhere, relative worlds. Look at India. The richest people in the world live in India, and the poorest people. But in London also, richest people live in London, but also poorest people. But that's the nature of the world. But wealth is temporary, poverty is temporary, and it's all going like this. Youth is temporary, old age is temporary, it's all temporary. But there's a permanent place which is our home. Mahaprabhu has given us the description of the destination, he's shown what it's like, how wonderful it is to be a devotee, and he's distributed freely those tickets to come home to our loving destination, and that the journey is also beautiful by chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, the cameras are on, but kind of the end of the program, the means of the talks, etc. And you read from here, correct?
Yes.
Beautiful.
As you suggested, Maharaj.
And we're happy you got to hear from Abhinava, from Kelly, from the devotees. They're here only for a blink of an eye, so good to hear from them. And you heard from me before. We started at 11:30, 2 hours ago. Yes, is there a pujari? We have the Lord. Do we have any servitors? Jai Saparika Shishi Guru Gauranga Sunda Radha Giridhari Juki Jai. Hare Krishna. Jashomati Nandana Braja Varanagara Gokula Randana Kana Gokula Randana Kana Jashomati Nandana Braja Varanagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yasomati Nanda Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Aliya Yamana Vidhana Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa Purandara Navinana Bora Bora Bangsi Bhajana Sukha Purandara Navinana Bora Bora Bangsi Bhajana Sukha Raja Jana Palana Surakula Nasana
Go!